Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll put roll call. Darlene is absent. Nate Baum? Here. Chris Dimitri is absent. Rich Goris is absent. Joe LaFiandra?
Here.
And Eric Merritt? Here. And me. So we have a quorum. So we will begin. First order of business is a public hearing for Zelenak. So you have the cards? Okay. I'll read the notice. Public hearing notice. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Planning Board, Town of Plattekill, County of Ulster, on Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be heard at the Plattekill Town Hall, 1915 Route 4455, Modena, New York 12548. At this time, the Planning Board will be conducting a public hearing on the application of Orin Zelenak for a 4-lot subdivision proposing 4 single-family dwelling units. The property is located on 44 Old East Road and is designated on the Town Plattekill tax map as Section 108.3, Block 2, Lot 8.1 and 8.2. All interested parties will be given an opportunity to be heard with respect to this application. For further information, please direct all inquiries to Elizabeth Ackerley, Planning Board Clerk, at 845-883-7331, extension 18, or via email, plattekillplan@yahoo.com. Okay, so we'll open the, Mr. Zelenak presents his project first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
You have an engineer here.
do you have your engineer here, or anything? Just
No,
going to describe the project?
I can describe the project.
Okay, do you have a map or a board or anything with you?
No, I don't have the map. I submitted, I think 11 copies. I don't know if I could use one, but I have a small map. It's just
I
not
could put
large.
up a map.
You can put up a large one? Okay. So if you want to address the group, tell them what you're doing.
Sure. So I'm not sure if you're familiar where this is, but head down past Cherry Top, take East Road, about 1.25 miles. There's a small road off that old East Road, which would be down here. So East Road would run this way, Old East Road. We've owned 50 acres for 27 years and fixed up an old barn and renovated this house, and I've lived there and worked here since that time. There's a right-of-way that goes back in here, and there was a road that Lamella's, the karting company, had built up and had some landfill back in here. And so about 18 years ago, we built a home here, which is 30 Old East Road. Subsequent to that, I built 2 more. These are all rentals, single family. I'd like to, right now, this is a tax lot, as where I live, and this home, and this is a tax lot with this home and this home on it. And what I'm proposing to do is split it into 4 separate tax lots with black lines here. In order to do that, I need road frontage conveyed by a private road. And so what I'm proposing to do is improve the existing driveway, which is essentially between 2 rock walls. They run here and here for about 700 feet, kind of due north like this. There's, minor grading to bring it up to spec as far as, of course, we're starting with a good road bed, which is great. We have some widening and cutting into a bit of a hill here and some fill on here. But my engineer, John Nozick, has prepared this, and we've submitted it for comments, and we need at this point to just upgrade a culvert here to 15-inch in diameter, so that any water that's flowing down this way would not spill out to the street but head toward this area. We have surveyed the property, submitted it to the DEC, had their certified map that we've used. That's what this is based on. We've been in front of the planning board, and because we would be creating these new lots, even though we're not building, because my existing house has some shed and an old garage that I repaired, they were non-compliant with what you would do today. So we had the zoning board determine that they were pre-existing and so not in violation. We've submitted, and I think it's been passed on to Newburgh. Ulster County has come back, as far as I understand, saying that it's exempt from whatever their process of considerations. We're working now with a lawyer to work out common access for the driveway, private road, and driveways. I mean, it's sort of there now, and it's going to be improved. And of course, it has these other technical and legal meanings that it's conveying. But once we have this, then I would be able to essentially have these as 4 separate tax lots.
Any comment from the audience? Going once? Or twice?
Ernie, I have one question. Which you said you wanted to possibly subdivide 2 of the lots in the future?
Well, I mean, it's possible that they would be subdivided, I guess, based on however, whatever the rules are for what that private road would be.
Yeah.
They're really large.
Yeah, which 2 lots would they be?
Well, possibly this one. But I haven't, done any work to identify that. This is, we're going to have to take a bunch of trees down. We're going to have to do some grading. If I want to sell these, I want that to look like it looks now, which is beautiful, like it's always been there. And, it takes years for that to get back together. So I'd like to get into a position where, that's, not ugly like it is when you cut in and move things around. So I'd like to get it done now, and if something happened in the future, then that'd be the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Have a second?
I'll second.
All on the vote?
Aye.
Okay, carried.
John asked if the board would consider a negative declaration under secret.
Can we do that yet, or should we go through these first?
No, let's go through the comments, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. We're gonna go through these comments first.
Sorry, I don't know the procedure. Thanks.
You're gonna jump right up
Come
here.
up here in a hot seat.
Okay.
Just push this stuff out of the way, it's in your way. So did you get a copy of
I have,
Pat's
yeah.
latest comments? Okay.
So our first comment was a sign off from the highway superintendent regarding the replacement of the culvert and the access drive where it touches Old East Road.
Yes, and Bob Wager emailed that he had he said, I think, what he would be commenting on, like specifying his scope, and saying that he had no issues with that.
Okay. And you will require a DEC permit for reconstruction of the road because you're in the adjacent area.
Yes.
And in you may be in the wetlands in a couple spots even.
We're in the adjacent area,
Adjacent area.
but they said that they're considering the total, if we're touching the driveway in this way, the biologist said that you're in a not just the adjacent, but I don't know, whatever the next tier up. But they have said that we're processing this and going forward.
So you're gonna need that permit though.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
As you mentioned, there's common driveway access and maintenance agreements for the shared driveways on the lots, and then there needs to be a private road access and maintenance agreement for the private roadway. I requested that your surveyor send a copy of the easement across tax lot 1.1,
Okay, I have that.
which is so that whoever's doing your easements can send those to
Yeah.
Dominic Cordisco, the planning board's attorney. We noted that you had ZBA approval. The project was submitted to county planning. They said that it's below their threshold for review, being 4 lots. I know Newburgh received the referral. They did not address it at any of their meetings yet, but I work for Newburgh as well, and they did receive a packet from Liz. And we did receive the revised plans after I did these comments, so those are completed. So we have those couple of items. The applicant did submit an EAF, which I'd like to review with the board prior. So the applicant did submit a short form EAF for the project. It did identify that there are DEC wetlands on the site. There were no other significant environmental impacts. The project will disturb less than 1 acre for the reconstruction, converting the private road to the common driveway. Based on the information provided, we would recommend the board issue a negative declaration for the project. That'll be needed prior to the DEC taking any action. No other agency can take action until you as lead agency do that. So a negative declaration would be in order.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we declare a negative declaration on the Orin Zelenak project.
I'll second.
On the vote,
Aye.
carried.
I will follow that up with a written negative declaration that you can provide at the DEC.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if the board's comfortable with this many conditions. There would be quite a few conditions, or if you want to check some off prior to any other approvals. But he's got a bunch of legal stuff to do with
He's got a
Dominic.
bunch, here,
He's
it's
got the
gotta go to
DEC
Don.
permit to pursue. So I think once you work through those, you can come on
Yeah.
back to the board and address any conditional finals.
Okay, but this is basically my,
Yep,
That's your worksheet, yep.
okay. That's it?
yep, for tonight.
That's all we can do tonight.
Thank you for your
That's all
attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
TEG Federal Credit Union.
All set.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good.
Pretty good.
So explain to us what you propose.
So we're just proposing a minor 2-lot subdivision. Total acreage is 5.58. They're looking to sell off the remainder of the new lot line we're proposing. New lot area would be about 3.65 acres. No access or any entries proposed. And no proposed use or development at this time either.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Jesse Campo,
Thank you.
Engineering and Surveying Properties.
What do we do with that?
So there's not a whole bunch of heavy lifting here. As was mentioned, it's an existing 9.6 plus or minus acre parcel of property in the BD 40 zone. They're looking to subdivide off 3.65 plus or minus acres of it. They do have a note on the plan that no construction or no, without site plan approval from the town of Plattekill and Ulster County Department of Health. So it's simply a subdivision of the land at this time. There are no proposed developments. So it's just a commercial subdivision. It does require a public hearing and the board should declare its intent for lead agency.
Okay.
I just want to point out a couple of administrative details. Your application listed as a BD 60 zoning district.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we came up with, but it's 40.
I believe it is. I will.
I looked on the
confirm
map,
that.
it was 40.
It is
The map that
40.
I looked
That's what
at.
I had it as
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, and in section 7, your environmental secret review,
That was
you
something that they
put it in type 2, it's gonna be an unlisted action?
It is an
I assume?
unlisted action, correct?
Okay. Should we revise that and send it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the signature too? Is this legit, an electronic signature?
Is that Brian?
That's one of his.
Yeah.
that's his Sarah.
Yes, it is, it's just some
Yeah,
notes there.
Probably one he created, yeah. But yes, that's legit.
Okay.
If you'd like something different, I can request that too. Yeah.
Well, personally, I don't care, but I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So we should probably just declare,
Declare your intent for lead agency for this unlisted action.
but not schedule yet.
Oh, I think you can if you schedule it out. You would need 30 days for any other agencies, because the parent parcel fronts on
Correct.
the state highway, we'd have to circulate to them.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we declare our intent for lead agency on the TEG Federal Credit Union 2-lot subdivision.
Second?
On the vote?
Aye.
Carried. And we can schedule a public hearing, but it's gotta be pushed out for a while. Because at least 6 weeks, I guess. Okay?
Let me see when the next one is.
Well, there's 5 Tuesdays in March, that helps.
What do you got for,
We could do it on April 28th, because there's 5 Tuesdays, so that's.
We have National Great Pyrenees tentatively for the 28th, so we can do it then as well, or the next one would be May 12th.
let's put it together. Yeah. So we're looking at April 28th?
Mm-hmm.
April 28th for a public hearing.
Okay.
Are we doing a motion for that, or?
Should, yes.
All right, I'll make a motion, we hold public hearing for the TEG Federal Credit Union on April 28th.
I'll second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Carried.
The mailings, but they have to go out.
Get with Liz, she'll get you the list and the process and all that.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks, Jesse, we'll be in touch.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
okay, the Ridgeyard.
I have a map right here. Want a small one? Let me give you a small one.
Thanks. Really late. Either one?
Two sets.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Joseph Berger, the engineer. Gary Bayright. Well, we've back before you for consideration, hopefully moving forward with the process. The biggest change we made, we added sidewalk along the front, which we requested. Pretty much the rest was what we submitted before. We have submitted to the Ulster County Health Department. They were out there reviewing soils, so they're reviewing it. And we have submitted to DOT for review, but they're waiting for your secret before they go forward. So we're hoping to continue with the seeker and hopefully schedule a public hearing after our discussion tonight, if that's possible.
Is this the traffic report you're gonna submit to the DOT?
That was submitted to me, yes.
Oh, it has been already, okay. Because there was a couple of things I noticed.
Okay.
Section 5, the traffic gaps refers to multiple driveways. So I was wondering what that was about, because I see on the plan it's just one.
Just one driveway, that's a typo.
I thought it was a typo, except it was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well, because
6.
what happens is you type it and then you go, automatic AI spell check.
Okay.
I hate that. It changes things and you don't catch it.
Yeah.
It's,
And the travel speeds, I know the big sign right after the Modena Firehouse is 55. But I think shortly after that, it's 45.
yes,
And I know going the other way is 45, because there was a trooper following me and I checked.
yes.
So, yeah, I don't know if the DOT is gonna come back and comment, about the speed limit, but anyway, I just wanted to see that this was the report that you did submit to them.
Yes.
So that leaves where are you at with the DOT?
We submit it, but they need a secret number. So all they're doing.
So we circulated for lead agency
I
way
know,
back
I
when.
haven't, so hopefully they're gonna move forward with it, but.
Yeah, that should have had them, they never responded, but
That's what I meant.
other
We haven't
other
received
agencies,
anything from
other
them.
agencies did, so I,
Typically, we
Exactly.
get response, and on other projects, we've submitted at the same time, we've
Absolutely.
received our response already, but who knows?
so I'd be interested to know their status of this. And I think I know they notes the previous study from when this was gonna be the large warehouse project.
And we
I just
did-
wanna make sure the board has that.
And we
'cause this-
submitted it, on our first application, we actually submitted that, and the comment was, please do a narrative of our own.
Yeah, okay.
So we did submit the original
we're go-
one, in their first submission, and we followed up with the narrative for
So I'd be interested in DOT's comments is the only response. It is the roadway's under their jurisdiction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing 3 of these type of projects already, with many warehouses, all 3 on state highways. And they really, all they care about is
Yeah, they're not
the
big
site
traffic
distance.
generators.
No, all they care about is the detail.
Yeah,
As
they-
you probably realize, the DOT Region 8 has recently changed their entrance detail.
Yeah.
Region 8 used to have their own detail, and then the new people came in at the main office have decided to go to the statewide detail, which is slightly different. So on our original plan, we did have their Region 8 detail. The difference is, in a Region 8 detail, you create a 10-foot kind of a shoulder and wrap the curb. In the statewide one, your curb goes right up to the edge of the road, and that's what they want now.
Instead of the radius.
Well, it's still radius, it's still the same radius, but the radius ends at the edge of pavement. Or edge of where the existing pavement is. And I've changed 2 other jobs already based on their recent, so we changed this one to match what they made us do on the other 2. We actually asked them all the way up to the regional director, why are we changing? And we were told because we are.
Was that one of the revisions on the latest set of
Yes.
drawings? Okay, I was gonna ask you what changed.
So what you see here is just Region 8 drawing. So that's been changed on here because your submission was a month ago. That's the revision back from DOT. DOT comments have made a change in the drawings that you haven't seen yet because it's deadlines.
And you added the
Drawings are fluid, they change based on reviews.
And you added the sidewalk in.
The sidewalk was added in, even to the
Yep.
DOT. But the only change we have here on the DOT, they don't want this, they want it straight through. So I changed that for the DOT.
What were you indicating? I can't see that.
There's a pole there with the guy wire.
Gotcha.
In one of the previous DOTs, they didn't want it under the guy wire, so in anticipation that they would ask for that, I went around it. They said, no, we want it under because the guy wire is big enough.
And they wanted them there right away, right?
They don't care, but they want it in there right away, but it wasn't that this was going inside here, they just wanted it straight. But yes, they do want it in the state right away now.
It's a complete 180.
That was the one, that was
10 years
the-
ago, they would have told you no way.
That's exactly, not only 6 months ago.
Six-
I did one on Route 9G in Hyde Park, and they had us put it inside the property line, just 6 months
Yeah,
ago.
wow. I haven't
So
seen them,
within the
I haven't
last-
seen them require them to right away for a couple of years, but anyway.
So it's kind of moved over to Dutchess County then. But,
So,
that was one of the changes on their, entrance plan is different.
so one of the things my office had for the traffic reporters is just to put some, if that ITE has Saturday numbers, because self-storage
They do,
facilities
but
are.
the DOT doesn't
fairly-
ask for that, that's why I didn't do it.
Okay, just because they're probably busier on a Saturday when people are
Not too
moving their
much more,
stuff
it's
around.
about a 50% increase, I checked the numbers, it goes up to about 12. So we'll add that.
From 8,
The
yeah.
reason we didn't have that in the report was because that's an error to the DOT.
They didn't ask.
And the 2 last mini warehouses we did, DOT didn't care about Saturday. But for you, that's not a problem adding, I'm just explaining.
So we did issue separate, SWIP reports, so I believe
Yeah, I got
you
those
have
comments,
those.
those are all,
So,
I consider them to be just minor.
So
Couple
we'll be
typos.
looking for that to be revised. I think, was there some additional testing required, or?
I'm gonna talk about that, I personally did the testing.
I'm okay, yeah,
I spent 2 full days out there.
I'm good, we're not gonna redo those.
Okay, good, thank you. Because-
That's a standard comment from some of the other
Yeah, but, yeah,
municipalities.
and just so I could tell you, as a professional engineer, I did it myself.
Perfectly good with that.
We brought out so much water.
We have some
My God.
municipalities that require that.
I
This-
understand that.
This is not one of
but
them.
We brought so much water out for those infiltration tests. That guy kept coming back with 1,000-gallon containers 3 or 4 times. We were pouring, I think we used over 5,000 gallons. So we made sure of those tests. So we tested, what we did was dug them one day, put the pipes in pre-soaked. Trouble is the pre-soaked didn't do anything because it's gravel.
It was a gravel pit.
So the next day when we came back, I still had them pre-soaked in the morning and ran them in the afternoon. And just kept bringing the water in and over and over and over as Gary did test it. And it was a lot of water.
And the guy from the Board of Health was there also.
Yeah, Board of Health was there looking at the deep test for them, for the soil test. But thank you for that.
Yeah. Do you have the DEC validation of the wetlands?
The original validations on the survey we provided you, that's in there. And the JD said that, there is a state wetland which was validated already, but the others are not.
And that's later than the 2025 changes. January 25, they changed the regulations.
We have from my understanding, I'll clarify it with Jim Bates. He did a wetland report stating that the wetland that's out there embedded delineated is correct and it was redone and sent to DEC and they reaccepted it, yes.
Okay, I just wanna make sure it's after 2025.
Yeah, we just did it like 6 months ago.
Okay,
We got the map resurveyed by the surveyor. Jim looked at it, it was sent back into DEC and we got it updated. Yes.
okay, and
Yes.
we've got the sidewalk issue resolved by placing them in there. We just noted that there was a concept plan, that was before the board, so the board had that as kind of an ultimate build-out plan, just as we moved through seeker, they did provide that, with some smaller lots similar to this, with some other pretty non-intense uses, but just for the seeker purposes, I wanna make sure the board had that concept plan before them.
Once we had it in the package, but we haven't.
No, yeah, you gave it to us, I'm just saying.
Yeah, in the first submission
Was that from Labella, that concept
Yeah.
plan? No.
Yes.
I don't think they contemplated. They didn't.
No,
Oh, yeah, they did.
yes, they did.
Yeah, they had one where
Concept
they had a couple of 1 or 5 acre lots, I
Yeah,
know
the
there
reason
was,
we did that was to show that we weren't gonna build a big warehouse. That was the main reason to say, hey, instead of this big warehouse going here,
But it was provided for you for consideration, so we,
Yeah,
so there's nothing that intrusive.
so our next suggestion is that there is sufficient, I believe there's sufficient information to schedule the public hearing, at the next available date, I don't care whichever the board chooses. We are deferring seeker action until we do get public comments and comments from those other outside agencies.
yeah. I've got a question. What's the status of the purchase of the property?
We're still waiting.
Have you heard about the litigation?
Which part?
The seller is engaged in some litigation, it looks like with his partners, and I guess they couldn't come up with a clean title for you.
Yeah, there's some detail, you know much about it?
No, because I couldn't
Right, not
access
much.
fully, the county clerk's records were,
We were supposed to close the end of December. I guess there's some little, right, Brian, there's some little, thing where somebody had to sign off something?
Some old language, and it's very complicated. Disbarred attorney that had the right to sign off on any sale, but really had there's no mortgage, it was just a collateral, they used it as collateral for a different loan. And then ultimately, he's no longer allowed to sign, so then he had an authorized representative that was only allowed to sign for creditors and not this. So we have to take it to court, basically, to allow somebody to sign off on something it's ridiculous, but it's going to take about 3 months. I think we're over halfway through it.
Okay, so it's gonna continue to
One sentence.
proceed.
And it just caused all this headache.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
So,
Hopefully soon.
should we schedule a public hearing based on? well,
Yeah, I think that other
that's-
matter's a private matter between,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect your review. It's a-
No,
It does not, okay.
I don't wanna play lawyer here, but
No.
it doesn't seem like, it's not involving the town. And
Yeah, this is.
they're proceeding at their own risk if they
Exactly, yeah.
can't close on the property.
Okay, we've got two on the
I say we keep the pattern and go with the 28th.
I like that, yeah.
28th. Make a motion.
Public hearing night.
I'll make a motion, we schedule a public hearing for the Ridgeyard project on April 28th. Second?
Second?
On the vote?
Aye.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I get everything from your
Yeah.
office? Okay. Thank
I'll
you.
be in
All the
touch.
information you need, you will get from.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Much smaller.
When the camera goes off and the tape goes,
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
So
And you might have to take it, because I always explain if I was not at the meeting.
You can still point out, I can correct.
Yeah, but I don't think we have enough of votes to approve them. That's okay.
you don't have a quorum.
Unfortunately, if I don't attend, I don't, because I don't know context or anything.
Typically do a motion. to table it.
Yeah, we can do, we should. We should do that table. I'm sorry.
That'll help someone track it in the future if they're looking like, why didn't they do it? They moved it a month.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table approval of the minutes for the. So I can find the minutes.
March 10th?
The date, the March 10th meeting, due to a lack of quorum to approve.
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, we did get an escrow check from New Paltz Rescue, so we will be able to put those vouchers through tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Do you have the document?
I put them in your pile before we came.
So before we get into the vouchers, I have a letter. Did you see this letter, Pat? There's a letter in your packet regarding the Bruin subdivision.
Actually, it isn't even a subdivision, that's the issue,
It is not a
It's
subdivision.
one lot.
That's the issue.
across the
One
thruway.
lot that was split by the thruway. So what he needs is a separate tax SBL number. So my suggestion to Ernie was,
That's separate.
if you could waive the fees, do the subdivision, so he could get a SBL number and make it kind of short and simple, so, you know, because it was divided by the thruway, it wasn't really his fault, so, you know, try to expedite it so it's not a big deal. And then also get a letter of intent from the other owner, because this way it'll have a lot line deletion, so it's not a landlocked piece of property.
We don't wanna just do a lot line change?
I don't know, can you do that to get a separate SBL?
No, but it would eliminate that whole, I'm just talking out loud, I just saw this letter, but if we did a lot line change between the two parcels on either side of the thruway, you could transfer the portion of the, and I haven't read this whole, transfer the portion of the property that was quote-unquote naturally subdivided by the throughway to that other parcel in one fell swoop.
Well, if that's your suggestion, fine.
I think that'll be the cleanest way. I mean, we'll have to have a public hearing on it. You'd have to have one anyway to make that.
Right,
So I think we're gonna be, you'd be doing that process twice. If he gets a subdivision to create 2 lots,
right.
which would be difficult because he's gonna have bulk requirements and access and then you'd have to go through and consolidate those 2. So I think if we just do a lot line change, and I'll look at this a little further, but I think if we just do a lot line change between the 2 parcels, and that both owners are amicable and looking to do that anyway,
Right,
that could be the way to do it.
okay.
Probably take 2 meetings.
That's fine, I mean, then Liz can put something in writing and then contact, the other parties, and I guess send a letter to me too also, but.
Yeah,
We're all
well,
Let's let Pat review this.
I'm gonna take a look at this. I may talk to Dominic, the planning board's attorney too, as long as he's good with that course. I don't wanna lead these people down the wrong course. And, if that's what we agree, we'll contact Liz and she can, or I can even have Dominic contact this attorney and tell him that's how might be a better way to handle it.
Okay, sounds good.
I think it'll be smoother for all the parties,
All right.
from just what I read on the first 2 paragraphs.
I'll burn you a copy of that
Yep.
before you know.
I have a copy you can keep right here, Pat.
You do? Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
But if that's the intent to transfer it to the adjoining landowner, I think that's the quickest way.
Yeah, it is, that's, okay.
Okay. Vouchers. Do we have any?
Yes.
Yeah, sure we do. And I don't have a balance sheet. Do you? I don't think we got one in a pack. Or did we? Hang on a minute. Nope. Do we have an escrow?
Do you have a ledger by chance?
A ledger?
I only gave you the one for New Paltz Rescue since that was,
That's the only one?
yep.
Okay.
Cause we didn't have any, we're just doing these because they were old and we just got
Isn't there,
the check
aren't
from
there 2?
them.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Now we have money,
Good base, yeah.
finally.
Okay. We have a voucher for MHE Engineering for work done on Workshop Storage LLC in the amount of $310.70.
I'll make a motion, we pay MHE.
Isn't that New
300.
Paltz Rescue Squad?
Yeah,
Okay.
we pay MHE Engineering
$310.70.
$310.70 for work done on New Paltz Rescue, otherwise known as.
Workshop Storage
Workshop
LLC.
Storage.
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Voucher for MHE Engineering for work done on New Paltz Rescue, also known as Workshop Storage LLC, in the amount of $71.40.
I'll make a motion, we pay MHE Engineering the sum of $71.40 for work done on New Paltz Rescue, otherwise known as Workshop LLC.
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. That was simple. Let's see everything. I always get confused with these things. I think this is moving in here. Anybody have anything before I make a motion to adjourn?
I'm just gonna mention that I have a couple of things I'd like to bring from my previous experience to the planning board application. And I'll just generally describe it as an entity disclosure form. Basically, it assists us in identifying the people who are behind things like LLCs. In my previous experience, some of these LLCs have been less than forthcoming about their identity, and has sometimes become difficult to chase them down to collect fees. So what I will do is send a PDF of these documents. One of them is the form itself, and the other one is a part of a town law. So this might require some coordination with the town board. But at any rate, I'll send them to Liz, and she could forward them to the board, and then we can talk about it at a later date.
This would be to force disclosure of any officers of a company? Is that what
Is
you're?
any applicants
Yeah,
have to disclose,
the board, anyone who's in ownership of the company?
basically basically that, and also if there are, I think, any conflicts of interest as well. So,
Okay.
I think we might have something like that already on our application, I'm not sure. But at any rate,
Okay.
it's just something that has proven to be useful, and we didn't personally have it in my department when I was working for Rockland County, but some of the municipalities did, and one of them, town of Orangetown, and theirs was kind of like a model. We didn't have any issues actually with any of the applicants to that municipality, but but the disclosure form, I think, is a good model for us to emulate.
Okay.
Works for me. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
On a vote,
Aye.
Aye.
adjourned.